first the basics. To enable master mode programming, you first need to press push button 6 to box the program legend. The numbers reappear next to already selected displays. Now press push button 7 once to select the air-to-air programming mode. Air-to-air legend appeared just below the master mode, and you are now ready to assign one of the 3 pre-selected displays on the left MPD to the air-to-air master mode. This means that each time you select this mode, that one particular page will always show up on the left MPD. Go ahead and choose air-to-air radar with push button 15. Very good. Air-to-air appeared next to the number 2 in the middle of the screen. On to the next mode. Press push button 7 again. Air to ground is now displayed, and this is the master mode we will be programming now. Choose TSD with push button 5. Good. Air to ground is now also visible next to number 3 in the middle of the screen. Finally, time for the nav master mode. Press push button 7 once more. Nav appeared below the master mode legend. Let's assign HSI to it by pressing push button 3. Now exit the programming mode by pressing push button 6. Program will become unboxed. Very good. Now we'll repeat the process for the right MPD. Box the program legend there. Good. Now enable master mode programming by pushing push button 7. Air-to-air master mode appears, but you're free to switch between the modes as you see fit. Press push button 7 again to enable air to ground first. Now select air to ground radar. Press push button 7 to choose nav master mode. Assign tactical situation display to nav. Select air-to-air master mode by pressing push button 7 again. It looks like we deselected master mode programming as we cycled through all 3 modes. Press push button 7 once more. We will assign the armament page to air-to-air on this MPD. We're done with the right display. Deselect the program. Finally, let's move to the MPCD. Again, box the program legend by pressing push button 6. Now enable master mode programming. For the air-to-air, we'll want to assign the 2s. Press push button 7 again to select air to ground. Just like with the basic MPD programming, you're not confined to menu 1. Let's assign air to ground delivery displays from menu 2. Select push button 11 to enter it. Now press push button 2 to program air to ground delivery under air to ground master mode. Press push button 7 to switch to nav master mode. Return to menu 1 by pressing push button 11. This is menu 3. You can easily tell where you are by looking at the legend next to push button 11, which now says M. And if the legend says M, that means you're in menu 3. If it says M2, you're in menu 1. And if it says M3, you're in menu 2. Very intuitive. Really? You think so? Okay, but in fact, actually it is. The legend shows you which menu you will enter upon pushing push button 11, which means you should do it once again to enter menu 1. Let's assign ADI to nav master mode. Press push button 1. Deselect programming with push button 6. Okay, on to the grand finale. Time to reap the fruit of all the hard work of pressing those push buttons. Go ahead and select the air to ground master mode. And lo and behold, with one push of a button, you have all 3 displays showing pages which you have programmed. It pays off to spend some time on the ground to set them up, because it saves precious seconds later in the air, when things are happening a lot faster. Choose the nav master mode. You now have the HSI on the left display, TSD on the right, and ADI on the MPCD. The icing on the cake is that you're still able to normally scroll through the display content using short presses of the castle switch left, right, and aft. Try it now. Okay, enough of that. Now select the air-to-air master mode. You're back to the pre-programmed view again. Okay, that more or less covers the general MPD, MPCD knowledge, and concludes this lesson. please wait for everything to load properly. I have paused the simulation so that you can fully focus on the task at hand. Today we will learn how to take command of displays in the front cockpit. Give me a second to set everything up properly for you. There, that's better. The process itself is very simple. You will be using the castle switch on your stick. Yes, the very stick you can't see on the screen to do that. You can take command of the HUD, left MPD, right MPD, and the bottom NPCD. Let's start with the displays. To take control of the NPD or MPCD, press and hold the castle switch on your stick in the direction of the display you want to use until 4 short vertical lines show at the bottom of the given screen. Feel free to practice as I talk about the details. So as an example, to take control of the air-to-air radar on the left MPD, hold the castle switch left until the command marks appear. If you want to control the lantern pod, currently displayed on the MPCD, hold the castle switch aft. Chances are that you already messed something up, and now you can see the Tactical Electronic Warfare System, or TEWS in short, on the right MPD and ADI on the MPCD. That's because you short press the castle switch right and or aft, respectively. Use the push button 11 to bring up the menu, and then select AG radar again on the right MPD and TGP on ADI. Not all displays can be commanded. Those that provide information only, like the engine page or HSI, won't cooperate, and neither will the HUD repeater. Speaking of which, taking command of the HUD is a little different. Let me know when you're happy with the MPDs, and yeah, I know it's not rocket science, and are ready to move on to the HUD. Alright, so to take command of the HUD, you have to first press the castle switch down. Down, not aft, mind you. And then short push it forward. If you do this correctly, you'll see the in command queue just above the Mach number on the left side of the HUD. If you don't, you'll notice that your master mode between air-to-air and air-to-ground, because this is what happens when you just push the castle switch forward without properly pressing it down first. It all seems straightforward, but takes some time getting used to, so go ahead and practice. In the next lesson, we will go a bit deeper into the displays and learn how to program them and set them up for various master modes. Probably thinking, why is this guy wasting my time teaching me to push one button at a time with the sim pause? Well, I'll tell you, because if you don't adopt the crawl, walk, run attitude, you're going to have a difficult time learning how to properly fly this beast. So just trust me on this one, okay? Alright, good job. back. This training mission will serve as a basic introduction to using the PAX, or the Programmable Armor Control Set, in the air-to-air mode. Please wait for everything to load properly.
I'm waiting.
PAX is your main tool when it comes to setting up and monitoring your weapons. While it obviously shines in the air-to-ground domain, it also has its uses in the air-to-air arena.
Ow.
Alright, without further ado, let's jump straight into it. The air-to-air master mode is set by default, so we can move to the PAX. Press push button 11 on the left NPD to enter the menu page. And now press push button 2 marked ARMT. Don't ask me why it's named ARMT instead of PAX here. I don't know. We are now in the main menu, where you can choose to go to dedicated air-to-air or air-to-ground, training, or jettison pages. We'll skip the load page in this lesson and focus on the main AA PAX display. Press push button 2 to access it. In the center of the screen, you can see the outline of your jet with all the available stations and information on what is loaded on each of them and what is the status of each missile. As you can see for this sortie, we have one type of each missile that the Strike Eagle can carry loaded on the jet. Now, before we move further, one very important thing for air-to-air combat is the weapon select switch position. It can either be in the gun, SMR, short-range missile, or MRM, medium-range missile position. And
Oh, I
this
need these
dictates
contacts
which
so
missiles
bad.
are ready to be used and what symbology is shown on the
Or these
HUD. Go ahead
inserts.
and make sure the MRM is selected.
The setting indicates. Well, I wasn't looking. I wasn't listening. Now I know what the hell to do. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the air-to-air combat is the weapon select switch. Weapon select switch position. It could be in gun, SMR. Oh shit. Well, I'm just gonna. I think it's gonna be one of these buttons.
This places medium-range missiles in launch priority. You should see that the AIM-120 Charlie on Station 7 Charlie is now boxed. Mind you that newer versions of the 120 Charlie will be marked with a V on the display.
What's a
To
V,
switch
bro?
between the active missiles, short press forward the boat switch on the throttle. As you reject one missile,
Oh, wait a minute. God damn it. I can't remember what that got. Bow switch. My bow switch is not on the throttle.
move to another. Have a look at the HUD. The legend in the bottom left window changes, showing you the type and number of available weapons of each kind. Now switch to SRM by moving the weapon mode switch to the center.
Okay. I don't know if I got a weapon mode switch. I thought this was it. That's not it. Oh, this is a different jet. This ain't the C. Oh, shit. This ain't the C? Oh, shit. What's this? Weapons mode. Okay. Weapons mode switch. That's this right here. One, two. I don't have a down. Gun. Okay, I think it wants me to program this. Wait a minute, that is a button. Working mode, weapons mode switch, medium range. Shit, I got some weird shit going on here. Gun, SMR. I gotta stop cursing, man. Somebody told me you're never gonna get a sponsor if you curse. But shit, I can't help it. It's 21 years in the military. I don't. Yeah. Do I just use this? Gun, short range missiles, and medium range missiles. I think if I just use this, it's better. So, and not only that, I can actually go aft and what's this center? Oh shit, I don't want to hit center because I got center. Wait a minute, this is a different jet. Yeah, I'm gonna turn the radar. Oh shit, I'm gonna turn the radar on with something else. And medium range. Oh, I gotta clear it. Forward. Okay, okay, okay. All right. Short range, medium range, gun. Yeah, I can use this to cycle through either one. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. It's gonna cycle through. Now I need to turn this radar back on with a button. That's my auto acquisition. Auto forward, aft. So we just got aft and forward on there. Out and then this is release. Okay. Let me turn the read off. That's my console switches. Press. Turn the radar on or something. Go to the AN. Alright, we're gonna do a toggle button with this. I think on. It's a three-way switch. Standby. And off. I don't know how that's gonna work. That's what we're going with. Now what was I doing? Okay. Short range.
Characteristic growl on the side pointer and station Bravo is energized. Again,
Forward.
the currently selected missile while pressing the boat switch forward. You'll notice a different legend displayed on the HUD for each one.
I just need to cycle through. I don't need all the other buttons. That's four of the buttons I could have.
Guns mode is selected by placing the weapons mode switch in the aft position. This causes the radar to switch into the guns mode and brings up the gun funnel on the HUD. Let me unpause the mission so you can take a few turns to better see.
Okay, that's not working. It's not giving me guns when I go aft. Medium range, cycle, gun, short range, medium range, gun. Yeah, aft is not giving me shit. I got it programmed.
Okay, enough fun. Now return to the air-to-air PAX page and make sure the MRM is selected.
Oh, I don't. That switched to the radar. I can't get to the guns. I'll switch to the radar. First switch to short range missile before going to medium range. Oh, I don't think I want to be there. It's not giving me. Okay, I'm okay with that, but I need something else going on. Afghan, it's not giving me guns. Forwards medium range. Maybe I should use this. It's just, wait a minute, that's not working. I'm just trying shit now because I don't know what's working and what's not working. Or what should work and isn't working. Okay, that's not a good one. Okay, I'm gonna need a button to send me back to packs. Space while you're ready. Make sure to switch to short range before going to medium range. Push button 11. Do I not have a 120 on this mofo? Hmm. Okay, that does that. Medium range joystick button 10. That's medium range right there. It should be switching. Hmm. I don't know what I'm missing here. I was just switching between them.
Back to work into our packs display. Let's have a quick run through all the push buttons and their functions. Push button 1 allows to switch between the high and low gun firing rate. In the high setting, it'll shoot 6,000 rounds per minute. In the low, it's a lousy 4,000 rounds, only 66 per second. The low will normally be used against a ground target, so stick to the high for the air-to-air combat. Push button 2 and 3 let you select the target size and radar cross-section, but I wouldn't worry about it too much in this sim. Push button 4 is the flight member identification and is used for deconfliction with your wingman. All members of the flight select their respective position. On a solo flight, you'd choose 1-1. If you're number 2 in a 2 ship, you'd select 2-2. And if you're number 2 in a 4 ship, you choose 2-4, and so on. Push button 5 is used for running a built-in test for individual AIM-120 missiles. They all automatically undergo this procedure once power is applied to the jet, but the bit can also be manually initiated for each AMRAAM separately.
Don't do it in VR. Do it with tracker. With this headset, looking down like this,
Okay, the last thing we need to cover here
putting this muscle to work.
mode. Return to PAC's main menu by pressing push button 11.
Yeah, you want to do this in
See the training mode visible next to the push buttons 14 and 15.
tracker.
Boxing one of them or both to enable the
I
respective
think I might
training
stop
mode.
and just
That
switch to
means you can
tracker.
stay in combat mode for air-to-ground, but training for air-to-air. Go ahead and box the air-to-air training. Now return to the air-to-air PAC stage. You see on the right side of the display that you're currently in your air-to-air training, air-to-ground combat mode. AA training legends box. What does it mean in practice? That you get all the symbology and indications normally, but you're not able to physically extend any weapons. To exit the training mode, simply unbox the legend in the main PAC menu. Okay, feel free to play with the settings. There are a few drones ahead of you that you can shoot down if you wish, but I won't give you the instructions on how to do that in this lesson. Check the manual or use the good old trial and error. Or, I wonder what this button does. That's a good learning method. You're in the sim after all. Enjoy. Oh yeah, don't forget to disable the training mode.
Okay, I don't think did I do air-to-air radar training in this? I don't think I did. Even though it looks familiar, it seems like I did the training in this, but I didn't. What the hell just happened? Where did that just come from? Ooh! The gun is working. I don't remember doing training in this. Well, I think I did. Because right now I have no idea how to unlock that. I have no idea how to unlock that. Okay, I don't know what that symbology is right there. Ooh, he sniped my ass. He sniped the shit out of me. Now, Mr. Trainer, you did not say they were armed. I know for a fact I didn't hear you say they were armed. I gotta go back and go through this again because I have no idea what I'm doing here. I'm getting F15C keybinds mixed up with F15E keybinds, which I don't think I've done the keybinds for this, at least not completely.
Welcome to this training mission, in which we will talk about the basics of the air-to-air radar in the
Yeah.
F-15 Strike Eagle. Please wait for the mission to load properly. I'm not going to waste your time with the technical description for all the data on the
No.
F-15 radar.
Waste my time, sir. Waste my damn time.
Instead, let's jump directly into the jet and learn the most important aspects of the radar in the air-to-air mode. You can see that the air-to-air radar screen is already displayed on the left MPD. You should also see two contacts, likely denoted by a triangle, at roughly 40 and 25 nautical miles respectively off your nose. You can easily tell the distance to a contact at a glance by referencing the currently selected radar scale, 80 miles, as indicated by the number in the top right corner and the horizontal lines on the display. Each of them equals a quarter of the selected scale. Therefore, for each mile, you'll show 20, 40, and 60 miles respectively, going from the bottom to the top. To change the scale, you'll use the TEC controller on your throttle, which allows you to move the target acquisition symbol currently sitting in the middle of the screen. However, to be able to do that, you have to first take command of your radar. Do it now by pressing and holding the castle switch left. Good. You are now in command. To increase or decrease the range, simply move the acquisition symbol to the top or the bottom edge of the screen. Please try it now and let me know when you set the scale to 20 nautical miles. You should now see a small arrow at the very top of the display indicating that one of the contacts detected by the radar is outside the currently selected scale. As you move the acquisition symbol around the screen, there are several moving parts we should have a closer look at. In the top left, the two changing numbers are bearing in range in nautical miles from your aircraft to the location of the acquisition symbol. The two hollow dots along the left side of the screen are called the radar beam altitude coverage circles and show the maximum and minimum altitude that the radar beam is covering with the current settings. The digital readout of these altitudes is constantly shown next to the acquisition symbol. You will notice that the further away you move the acquisition symbol from your jet, the higher the coverage, and vice versa. But while the distance is an important factor here, there are at least two other things that play an even greater role, which are the number of bars and elevation of the antenna. The number of bars can be set to 1, 2, 4, 6, or 8 using push button 2. As you increase this number, you'll notice that the antenna elevation scale, the two hollow dots, get further away from one another, thus allowing for greater vertical coverage. The downside, however, is it takes longer for the radar to complete the full sweep. Antenna elevation can be changed using the wheel on the throttle. Move it up and down and see how the values for minimum and maximum coverage change. The green elevation caret on the left side of the screen shows the angle at which the antenna is currently pointing. Go ahead and play with the elevation and number of bars for a while. We have talked about the vertical coverage. Now let's have a quick look at how wide the normal beam is. In normal mode, it covers 120 degrees in front of the aircraft, but it's possible to narrow it down to 60 degrees using a method called azimuth bumping. To azimuth bump, simply move the acquisition symbol to the left or the right edge of the screen. You notice that the two dots at the bottom of the display are closer and can be moved left and right using the TDC. Note that it only works in SRM and MRM modes. Finally, to return to full 120-degree scan, move the TDC once again to the left or right edge of the screen. Take a moment to play with those options. Alright, now set the full coverage, bars to 4, elevation to 0, and scale to 80. Let me know when you're ready to move on. You should again see two contacts on the screen at roughly 25 and 40 miles. Go ahead and place the acquisition symbol above the one closer to your aircraft. Number 19 should appear next to the contact, indicating its altitude. If you do the same for the one further away, it should show 31 or so. You'll also notice that both contacts become brighter on certain sweeps of the radar and stay dark for others. They will light up only when painted by the beam as it sweeps through a bar corresponding to their altitude. If the bar is too low or too high, they'll remain dark. The number of frames dark contact remain on the screen can be changed using push button 3. Go ahead and see how it works. The last important setting is the pulse repetition frequency, or PRF, which can be set to high, medium, or interleaved by pressing push button 6. In the simplest possible terms, the high PRF is mainly used for seeing hot, nose-on contacts, whereas medium is best for seeing maneuvering targets or targets that are not nose-on. Interleaved constantly alternates between the two. Okay, time to lock one of those targets and enter the single target track, or STT mode. To do so, move the acquisition symbol over the desired contact and short press the TDC. The radar will enter a mini raster mode, and if it scores enough hits on the target, it acquires a lock. Let me know when you've achieved that. Several new symbols should now be visible on the radar screen and on the HUD. Starting with the HUD, you should see the target designation box at the location of the locked target. To the right, you you have a range scale with lots of weird symbols you don't have to worry about at this stage, as we'll cover them on some other day. The changing number on the left side of the scale is the closure, or BC rate. The target's altitude and digital range are displayed to the right. Similarly, down on the radar screen, the target is denoted as a star with a heading vector or a flake symbol if it's trying to jam the radar. Its altitude is displayed at the left edge of the display, and closure rate and range scale are shown along its right edge. Now, to drop the lock, simply depress the automatic acquisition switch. Do it now. Very good. Okay, the last thing will be a little practice using the radar settings to find and lock a helicopter that's circling at 5,000 feet over the water, around 15 nautical miles away from us. Set the bars to 4, scale to 20, and PRF to medium, and position the antenna to cover the minimum altitude of 2,000 feet. Can you see the radar signature of the helo? No? And no wonder. The helicopter is a slow-moving target, and as such, it's difficult to pick up by the radar. But don't worry, as the smart people over at Raytheon added the option called GMTR, or Ground Moving Target Rejection, to help us in situations just like this one. What does it do? It allows the aircrew to make the radar more sensitive to slow-moving targets, with the downside of allowing more ground clutter and false targets appearing on the screen. The GMTR setting can be changed by using push button 4. Press it 3 times to set the GMTR to low. If the elevation is set correctly, you should start seeing some returns. If you move the acquisition symbol, you'll see their altitude, some of them at -1, 0, or 1. You should ignore them as ground clutter and continue searching ahead of you for one flying at 4,000 to 5,000 feet. Feel free to decrease the number of bars and closely watch the digital altitude readout. Your goal now is to lock that helo. Let me know when you've done this. Well done. I mean, relatively well done, considering you didn't have to fly the jet because the sim was paused, and you didn't have 1,000 other things you normally would, but still not bad. Thank God during the real sortie you'll have a wizzo who will be doing this job for you.
up, pull up, pull up.
Low altitude, low altitude, low altitude, low altitude. Low altitude, low altitude. Low altitude, low altitude, low altitude, low altitude.
at balls 202-423 at 10,000. Springfield 1, engaging bandit at bullseye 202-423 at 10,000. Springfield 1, splash bandit at balls 199-422 at 11,000. RTB. 2, roger. 2, RTB.
It doesn't have burners on, does it? She does.
Overgy, overgy, overgy.
thought there was a little runway over here, but I guess not. I was back right over in that corner. We are way up there. Alright, that was fun. Gotta run. F15 is cool. Super, super cool.